Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I talk about games I like or things that interest me. Today I'm going to talk about the white knuckle demo and things you should know when you're starting off. First off, I'm going to talk about the items. The first item I'm going to talk about is the hammer. The hammer has two main uses. The first use is for self-defense against barnacles and blood bugs. It takes 3 hits with the hammer to kill a blood bug. The second item I'm going to talk about is the baton. You can hit it 3 times with the hammer to drive it in and make a permanent handhold. You don't need to hit the baton with the hammer to use it, but it falls out very quickly. If you hit it once with the hammer, it stays in for about 2.5 seconds, but it slowly comes out. If you hit it twice with the hammer, it stays in for about 7 seconds. Only if you hit it 3 times will it become a permanent handhold and won't come out no matter what you do. With the baton, you can jump off it, grab it, and then jump off it again to get extra height. If you don't hit the baton at all, you can very quickly jump off it. You don't have to drive it in with a hammer. It will eventually fall out though, so be careful. Hitting the baton with the hammer once should give you enough time to climb up wherever you need to. If you're going fast, hitting it more than once would be just a waste of time. The next item I'm going to talk about is rebar. Rebar has 3 main uses. The first one is to throw it into walls to create a permanent handhold. The second use of the rebar is to kill enemies like blood bugs. You can also use rebar to press buttons like the ones in Ascent. Just throw the rebar at it. You can skewer 2 enemies with 1 rebar, but it's really hard to do. The third use of rebar is to propel yourself upward. You can do this by looking down and throwing a rebar midair. This can be used to reach places you normally wouldn't be able to. The next item I'll be talking about is beans. Beans can be used to completely refresh your stamina while climbing. This can be used mid-climb to hang on longer. Once you use beans, you still have to throw out the can. You can do this by pressing 1 or 3, depending on which hand it's in. The next item I'll be talking about is pills. You can use pills to give you an insane stamina buff that effectively gives you infinite stamina for the first 60 seconds, but the effect decays with time. In total, the pills effect lasts 100 seconds. You can use pills with other items to climb insanely fast without having to worry about stamina. The next item I'm going to talk about is food bars. Once you eat one, it completely refreshes your stamina and gives you a variety of buffs. It buffs your stamina and your jump height and walk speed. These buffs are quite good, especially the jump height buff, which lets you climb significantly faster if you're jumping off handholds. The next item I'm going to be talking about is the injector. Once you use the injector, it gives you a very big buff to your jump height and movement speed. This can let you climb way faster than before and reach way better times on a leaderboard. The next item I'm going to talk about is the rope rebar. It's basically just better rebar. It does everything normal rebar does, but it has a rope which hangs down and you can climb it and swing on it. It's quite good for reaching way higher spots. The next item I'm going to talk about is the auto baton. It's basically the baton, but you don't need to hammer it in. It's basically just a better baton. The next item I'm going to talk about is the brick. The brick is the worst item in the game. It has 2 uses. The first one is similar to rebar, in which you can get extra jump height by throwing it under you, but it's way less than the rebar. The second use is killing blood bugs or barnacles. The next item I'm going to talk about is the explosive rebar. It's the rarest item in the game and has 2 uses. The first use is to rocket jump. Unlike rebar, it doesn't stick into walls. When it hits something, it explodes and doesn't leave any rebar to climb on. You can use that explosion to propel yourself upward at very high speeds. You can use it to skip some rooms. The explosion does damage you though, so you gotta be careful. The second use for the explosive rebar is to kill enemies. The explosion is like an AoE that kills any blood bugs or barnacles caught inside it. There's one last item I'm gonna talk about, but I'm gonna save that for the end. The first enemy I'm gonna talk about is the blood bug. The blood bug rams you with its head and can knock you off handholds while you're holding them. They can be very annoying, and you should kill them before you start climbing. You can ride on their head though. This is very hard to do, but it can let you fly basically. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is the gas bag. It explodes when you jump on it or touch it. You can use that explosion to propel you upwards and skip parts of rooms. The explosion does damage you though, so you gotta be careful. The last item I'm gonna talk about is the grub. The grub is the best item in the game and lets you skip entire rooms. When you use the grub, your hands get sticky and you can climb any surface for 10 seconds. This paired with other items can let you basically fly past any obstacle. The first roach I'm gonna talk about is just a normal one. This one does nothing, but you can squish it. The next roach I'm gonna talk about is the gold roach. You can use the gold roach as currency to buy other items. Just go to the vending machine and put it in the hole. Vendors can let you buy some of the best items in the game, like grubs, pills, or injectors. The better items cost more roaches, so you should stockpile a few when you can, so you can set up for a good run. The next roach I'm gonna talk about is the platinum roach. It's basically the gold roach, but like it's worth more. Instead of being worth 1 roach, it's worth 5. So when you see one in a run, you should probably pick it up. Every roach is squishable like the normal one, so you should probably watch your step and not step on a valuable roach by accident. The last roach I'm gonna talk about is the red roach. I've never seen this roach in a run. I think they're like very, very rare. If you step on it, it explodes. It also explodes if you try to grab it, so you should avoid them at all costs. If you spawn a bunch in the playground and like jump on it, it can crash your game. They're also very loud if you step on a bunch of them. Every time you die, you receive a tip. You should read it, it can help you get better at the game. The last thing I want to talk about is the strider. You can find these guys in the sewers, specifically the trash heap. They don't do anything, they're harmless. You can climb them and use them as like a ledge to go higher and to get to places you usually can't. You can also pet them if you repeatedly grab the top of their shell. They make a little noise when you do. When you pet them, you also get an achievement. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. You should also go play White Knuckle. It's a fantastic game. Anyways, bye.